Welcome to Shul Machshava on the Daf. We're holding in Menachos, Daf Tzadik Ches. The Gemara at the end of Mudalev tells us that the Badim of the Aron, which was in Kodesh Kadoshim, was sticking into the Paroches. It wasn't sticking out, but you could see them through the Paroches like Dodei Isha. Shene'emar tzur hamor doidili ben shada yolin. Now Rashi says that the Badim were going in the Paroches. So explains Rashi, what is the Paroches? Paroches are saprusa bepesach beis kodesh hakadoshim letznius be'alma. There was some curtain, some Paroches in the entrance of Kodesh Kadoshim for tznius. V'lo mishu mechitza. How? Because this was a mechitza. The ha'ama tracks in be'avi b'migdash harishon. B'migdash harishon there was a wall. Now what does Rashi mean there was a wall? Of course there was a wall, but there was an opening to the wall so you could go into Kodesh Kadoshim. So what do you see from here? It says Moshe Feinstein in the Igros Moshe Chelek Aleph in Kodesh Siman Beis, in the Tshuva he wrote to his father Reb David. He says you see from here that the entrance to Kodesh Kadoshim in Beis Hamikdash Harishon there was She'arim, there were gates. And that's what Rashi brings in Shabbos Daf Lamed, that the She'arim of Beis Hamikdash stuck to each other when Shlomo HaMelech wanted to go in. There was actual gates. That's what Rashi means. Really, there were doors to go into Kodesh Kadoshim. There was no need to have a paroches, to have a curtain. But it was there, letznius be'alma. And he brings rayas from a few other places where you see that there was doors, there were gates to Kodesh Kadoshim. And one of them is the pasuk that says in Melachim, Pesach hadvir osod losois. It says the dvir, he proves that that's Kodesh Kadoshim. So we're talking about the doors going into Kodesh Kadoshim. And he brings that the Malmi also says that regarding Beis Hamikdash Shlishi, there will be doors to Kodesh Kadoshim. So similarly, it makes sense that also Beis Hamikdash Rishon had these doors. So according to this, he says, look at the miracle that you had with the Badim. It's not only that the Badim became longer and were able to get to the door, but they had to go through the doors. They had to go through a wall, basically, to get to the Paroches. So there was a miracle here that the Badei Aron went through a door to get to the Paroches. And just to point out that the Meiri in Yuma Daf Nun Daled seems not like the Igros Moshe, because the Losh of the Meiri is B'mikdash Rishon Haya Pesach Hadvir Be'emtza Koisel Shlam Atraksin. There was an opening. V'Paroches Lifnim Himeno, and the Paroches was inside there. It doesn't sound like there was any other doors except the Paroches. And now just to add, what is this idea that the Badei Aron seemed to be like Dodei Isha? So the Ben Yoda in Yuma Daf Nun Daled says that in the Aron we had the Luchos, which is the Torah, and the Ikar Torah is Torah Sheba'al Peh, and Torah Sheba'al Peh has Shmoine Dargim. That's what he calls it. What's a Shmoine Dargim? Kosher Pasul, Tahor Tomeh, Asur Mutar, Chayev Zakai, which is 4 and 4, meaning each one it's the one and the opposite. So it's 4 types of dinim, and it's just double. That's what it means, dad. Dad is 2 fours, dalet and dalet. And the reason you have shnei dodim is one is keneged the chelik hanigle of Torah, and one is keneged the chelik hanister of Torah. And he adds more, the same way the Dodei Isha is what a baby is nursing from, so Am Yisrael is always nursing from the Torah. Similarly, in Eliyahu over there in Yuma Daf Nun Daled brings that the idea that we compare, we have the Aron, seems the Dodei Isha is to come and tell us the same way the Dodei of the Isha gives sustenance to the baby, so the Aron gives sustenance to the whole world. And he adds the 2 anhagas in the world. There's the anhaga of Nes, and there's the anhaga of Teva, of nature. So Kodesh Baruch Hu does a anhaga, not always it looks like it's a Kodesh Baruch Hu, not always it looks like a miracle. So sometimes you see a Kodesh Baruch Hu, he's revealed, and sometimes not. That's what it means, nirim ve'einam nirim. You don't see it so clearly because a Kodesh Baruch Hu not always is being seen. Anyone who wants to join or sponsor the Shul Machshava Shiurim, please email shulmachshava@gmail.com.